Next on CBS 12 News this morning, just in time for the holidays, COVID boosters for all could be approved today. We'll tell you who the CDC is saying should get those shots as early as this weekend.
And with Thanksgiving less than a week out, airports all across the country, including right here at home, getting ready for what's expected to be pre-pandemic crowds. Coming up, what you need to know if you plan to fly.
And a couple of morning showers are happening out there. We'll show you where the rain is falling now. That's coming up. CBS 12 News this morning starts now.
You're watching CBS 12 News this morning.
All right, here we go. 6 a.m. Make sure you have your umbrella handy today. We're expecting another round of showers. Good morning. I'm Matt Lincoln.
And I'm Ashley Glass. We're getting some new video in this morning after it poured in parts of South Florida yesterday. Take a look. Some video from Miami Beach we're seeing. Heavy rain brought this traffic nightmare for drivers. Flash flood warning was issued in parts of Miami-Dade County last night after several inches of rain fell in the area.
And at Palm Beach International Airport right now, we're not seeing any rain. It's looking pretty dry. That's not going to be the case later, though. Meteorologist Zach Covey here with us now.
Yeah, and are we seeing any rain for the rest of the Friday, Zach, or the weekend ahead?
Yeah, I think so, especially this afternoon, perhaps as early as, let's say, 9 or 10 a.m. along the Treasure Coast. And it's kind of because what is happening up here, back out through the Space Coast, through Volusia and Brevard counties, over to Orange County, right? That is the cold front. And so this cold front, while it doesn't have a lot of moisture to work with right now, as we add a bit of daytime heating, a bit more moisture comes onshore, that front will work its way into an area that is abnormally wet. I mean, South Florida is running well above average for PWATS, or precipitable water, the amount of water in the atmosphere, by nearly 2 times the amount we should this time of the year. So that cold front will tap into it, and that's going to bring, once again, some showers as high pressure builds behind that cold front. Locally, right now, we're good to go. That is great news for the morning commute. That means you could get out the door, get on the roads, and despite the cloud cover out there, deal with a pretty easy commute into work or school. Now, by 9 a.m., those showers will begin to work their way back on shore. I'm giving you a yellow light because they could even be heavy, and they're going to start along the Treasure Coast first and then work their way south with the progression of that cold front. So showers continue today. It is off and on activity. It is not a widespread all-day event. You'll get a shower, you'll get a break. You'll get another shower, you'll get a break. A lot of cloud cover out there today, guys. That limits our highs only in the mid to upper 70s.
All right, Zach, 6:03 this morning. Millions of adults nationwide one step closer to being eligible for a COVID-19 booster shot.
Yeah, today the U.S. Food and Drug Administration is expected to grant emergency use authorization for both Pfizer and the Moderna vaccines.
Yeah, let's go to Sam now at the live desk. Following this, what is the timeline looking like, Sam?
Well, Matt and Ashley, booster shots for all adults first need both FDA and CDC approval. So once the FDA grants that emergency use authorization, then it goes to the CDC to give the final sign off. And that could all happen as soon as today. Here's what you need to know. The CDC recommends adults get the Pfizer or Moderna booster at least 6 months after getting their 2-dose vaccine. Research shows Pfizer's booster shot is 96% effective, and Moderna's booster shot is 93% effective when given 6 months after that second dose. If approved, tens of millions of adults would qualify for a third shot and could get it as soon as this weekend. Matt?
All right, Sam, take a look at this map. In recent weeks, at least 17 states have moved ahead of federal authorization. All the states you see in blue have already moved to endorse the expansion of booster shots to all adults. Florida, though, not yet included.
Well, as a reminder here, last month the CDC approved booster shots for certain groups. So if you're 65 years or older, you can get the shot. If you're someone who's 18 and older, living in a long-term care setting, has underlying medical condition, or works in high-risk settings, you qualify for the booster shot right now as well. Visit vaccines.gov to find a list of the places administering booster shots. You just type in your zip code and then the list will populate.
5 past 6 now, and this morning, workers in Florida have new protections against being fired for refusing to get a COVID-19 vaccine. The governor signed 4 bills from a special legislative session that puts new restrictions on vaccine mandates by employers. The main bill bans vaccine mandates by local governments on employees of private businesses. Any vaccine requirements for workers must include exemptions for religious or medical reasons. Any worker who previously had COVID-19 is also exempt, as well as anyone who agrees to regular testing and wears a mask. The governor says the state is protecting people's individual freedoms.
Nobody in Florida should be losing their job over these jabs. We want people to be able to work. We want people to be able to provide for their families. We want people to be able to have livelihoods. And that's just the way it's going to be in this state.
A private business with less than 100 employees can face up to a $10,000 fine per violation, and larger businesses can face up to $50,000 in fines. Businesses that have already been requiring vaccines will not be punished with fines.
And this all comes as the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, known as OSHA, suspended plans to enforce the vaccine mandate for companies with at least 100 employees. Federal Circuit Court issued an order to pause the enforcement of the president's vaccine mandate. Now, the mandate, along with several similar lawsuits being heard in an appeals court, vaccine mandate was set to take effect January 4th, but the current court order will pause any action until the court hears the case and makes a decision.
All right, 6:07 now, and school kids about to break for the Thanksgiving Day holiday. Today's the last day of school for a long time. We know many families will travel to celebrate.
Yeah, this is the second time we're going to celebrate this holiday and the pandemic, too. I want to go to our Kara Duffy reporting live from Palm Beach International this morning with some important advice on how to safely travel. Kara, what do we need to know?
Well, Matt, Ashley, airports really all across the country, including right here at PBIA, they are getting ready for what is expected to be a very few busy days ahead as they get ready to see pre-pandemic levels of crowds. We are talking about flights that will be most likely completely full, longer lines through security. As we know, the holiday's still a week out, but you can already see things really starting to come to life here at PBIA. And according to TSA, there's a couple things to keep in mind if you do plan to travel. Typically, the busiest days are going to be the Tuesday and Wednesday before Thanksgiving, as well as the Sunday afterwards. So if you have a ticket to fly any of those days, they recommend you get here at least 2 hours before. Now, when it comes to COVID protocol, TSA officials reminding people that despite your vaccination status, you will still need to wear a mask. That will be in accordance to the federal mask mandate. You can also feel free to bring along things like hand sanitizer, alcohol, and antibacterial wipes, either in your checked luggage, carry-ons, or both of them. Now, another concern looking ahead to next week, potentially nasty weather on the horizon. Early next week, there are several incoming weather systems that could be bringing snow, rain, strong wind, and this covers coast to coast as well as throughout the Midwest. So while that doesn't mean much for us here in sunny Florida, as we know, any kind of bad weather in any parts of the country could really have a domino effect when it comes to delays. So hopefully Mother Nature will cooperate and not add another thing on the list of things to worry about if you are planning to travel next week through the airports. Matt, Ashley?
Yeah, Kara, certainly people have enough to worry about, including the spread of COVID-19. When we take a look, health experts warn we may be seeing an increase in COVID cases over the holidays. Right now, COVID transmission from coast to coast is still pretty high. Take a look at all that red in all of those states. Now, here in Florida and in parts of the southeast, we're seeing lots of yellow. That's good because it means COVID transmission is moderate. Most of our local counties are also in that yellow moderate level. There is one in blue, which is low transmission. That's Indian River County.
6:09 is the time. This morning, we're following the murder trial of a man accused of shooting at deputies during a raid that killed his girlfriend in Indian River County. This is from 3 years ago. Andrew Coffey took the stand explaining what happened the night a SWAT team was executing a search warrant at his home. Coffey said he had no clue what was going on, so he started shooting in self-defense. Coffey's attorney says it was a confusing moment.
It sounded like a gun going off. I was scared. I was not trying to hurt anyone. I couldn't see anybody to aim at. I couldn't see. It was so dark. This is some of the testimony that you heard yesterday and this morning from my client.
I don't know what's going on.
Coffey's girlfriend, Alteria Woods, was shot and killed during the shootout. It was initially reported she was pregnant and used as a human shield by Coffey, but the chief medical examiner confirmed in court she was not pregnant. Coffey's pleaded not guilty. If convicted, he could face up to life in prison.
Well, 6:10, more professors at the University of Florida are backing a lawsuit claiming the school is hampering their right to free speech.
Yeah, we're going to tell you about the investigation just launched into this whole thing. That's in about 3 minutes.
And before we head to break, let's take a live look right now at the Lake Worth Pier. You're watching CBS 12 News This Morning, the one to turn to.